Okay, this one look like a linear equation, a linear expression. Okay, how I tell that it's linear? Because there's no square at all. Okay, and also there's something that you need to be careful. A lot of people, whenever they do not know how to do anything, they will just dump everything together, and the more they dump, the more difficult it gets. Okay, the more difficult it gets, so more tedious lah. Okay, so before you start doing anything, you have to ask yourself, okay, now I have two fractions. So when I have two fractions, I want to add them. When I want to add them, I need to find out the common denominator. Okay, so the common denominator is not just use this one times this one. If you are doing that, you intend to do that, then you're going to get very tedious working. Okay, so think of it, this one is 2b minus a. Now, what about this one? Has it got anything to do with 2b minus a or not? So if you look closely, this one actually the 5a minus 10b, if you were to bring a 2 out, okay, if you were to bring a 2 out, okay, I bring a negative 2. Why I bring a negative 2? Because I see this is 2b. I want to make this also, no, sorry, a common factor is 5. Okay, negative 5. Okay, my apology. Okay, this is negative 5. So I'm bringing negative 5 out. So when I bring negative 5 out, my purpose is to make this 2b. See, 2b here. And then I'm having minus a. Okay, so negative 5 times 2b minus a. So that will, when I multiply, it get back this one. Okay. Now, why I do this is because now, can you see that the denominator, this is 2b minus a. This is 5 times of 2b minus a. So if I were to take this negative, go and multiply with this negative here, so I'm getting 5 over 2b minus a plus 6 and 5 2b minus a. So the common denominator is 5 times of 2b minus a. Okay, so 5 times of 2b minus a. So originally this is 2b minus a. Now it's 5 times of 2b minus a. So I actually multiplied the 5. So the 5 should be multiplied to the top also, the numerator also. So 5 times 5 is 25, then plus 6. So therefore your answer is 31 divided by 5 into 2b minus plus a. Okay, sorry, this is minus a. Okay, cannot simplify anymore. Okay, cannot simplify anymore because there's nothing in common to bring out already. So this is just the answer. Okay, so 31 and 5 cannot simplify, cannot do any cancellation. Okay, next one is 6 and 4. Okay, 6 and 4, the common denominator is 12. Okay, don't say it's the 24. 12 is good enough already. So we change this 6 to 12. So we actually times 2 to the denominator. So we must times 2 to the numerator also. Okay, and then the other term is originally a 4, I change it to a 12. So actually I multiplied a 3. So I multiply a 3, I also have to multiply a 3 to the numerator. Okay, now this kind of question, usually they always put a negative sign and they're always a negative sign. The purpose of doing that is to check whether you are able to change this two sign or not. Okay, a lot of people always remember to change the first one but forget about the second one. So they are always caught. Okay, so here we have 2 times x, 2 times 2y, that will be 4y, then minus 6x plus 9y over 12. So this is negative 4x plus 13y over 12. So this is something like set 1's work, okay, but it's just a revision now, okay, but I think there are still some people still always make careless mistake here, okay. This is a sign that they always get it wrong. Okay, second question is to factorize. So you see, this one to factorize, this one to factorize, factorize and factorize. This one contains 2 terms, this one contains 3 terms, this one contains 4 terms and also 4 terms. Okay, so for the 2 terms one, what we normally do is we bring out common factor. Okay, we bring out common factor. In this case, 2 is the common factor, so we have 2 into 25m squared. Okay, 25m squared. okay, I can put it to be 5m the square. So I'm having like the a squared minus b squared. This one I can put it as a squared, 1 squared. Okay, so 1 squared minus 5m squared. So this is like a squared minus b squared. I can factorize it to be a plus b multiplied with a minus b. Okay, so I'm going to use this formula to further factorize it. Although this step to this step already factorized, but the factorization not complete yet because this one can further be factorized. So I'll put it to be 1 plus 5m and 1 minus 5m. Okay, when I reach this step, then my factorization is done because there's no more common factor to bring out. Okay, this one, 3 terms. Okay, 3 terms usually we will check, is it perfect square or not? Quite clearly you can see that this is 3, so it's not square of anything. This is 8, also not square of anything. So this kind of question you are going to do by cross method. Okay, cross method. So you put it to be 3x and x. Okay, and then this 8 we will adjust it to be what? Okay, if we want it to be negative 10 in the center, so what do we do? Can we have negative 2 and negative 4? Oh no, cannot. What do we do? Negative 4 and 2. Yeah, right? Negative 4 and 2. Negative 4 and negative 2. Yes. So negative 4 times negative 2 is actually 8. 3x times x is 3x squared. Okay, if you were to multiply this with this, you have negative 4x and negative 6x together is negative 10x, which is the middle term that you are looking for. So we can say that this one, this factor times this factor is going to give us the product. Okay, so 3x minus 4 and x minus 2. So this is the answer. So we have factorized it. Okay, from 3 terms, we factorize it into 2 factors. Okay, these two are similar. Okay, they are supposed to be done by using grouping method. Whenever you deal with 4 terms, usually you go by grouping method. Okay, so what we do, maybe we can try this 2, we see what is the common factor. Okay, common factor may be b. Is it only b? Okay, let's try. If it's only b, then we have 2a minus 3 as b is a factor, 2a minus 3 is the other factor. So if we have this and this multiplied together and we want to factorize the other one, so that means the second bracket there should have 2a minus 3. Okay, how do we get the 2a minus 3? Can we say we use minus negative 4a? Negative 4a. So when I have negative 4a, I need to times 2a in order to get 8a squared. Right, negative 8a squared. See, this one times together, you get back this one. I didn't change anything. I'm just putting it into product of different things only, and the final product is still the same thing. Okay, for the next one, I need the minus 3 here. So when I have a negative 3 times negative 4a, I get my 12a. And now you can see that 2a minus 3 is the common factor. So I take out 2a minus 3. So I will have 4 minus b minus 4a, and that's all done. Okay, so remember, when it's 4 term, you always group 2 term by 2 term, factorize 2 term by 2 term, factorize, then take the common of the factors out, and this is the one. Okay, same for this question. We take this 2, factorize, so I have a times b, a minus b, and then this one, I take 2c out, I will have a minus b. So can you see that the a minus b, okay, a minus b and the a minus b now is the common factor. Okay, so the common factor is a minus b. So when I take a minus b out, I'll have a plus 2c. Okay, and that's all. Okay, I have already factorized it. So if you go and expand this out, you're going to get back this one. Okay, so this is the process of factorization. Clear? Okay, next question is to change subject. Okay, what is the subject that you're supposed to change? Is it P? Is it P? It's P, right? Okay, you want to make P the subject. So you can see that first the P cube, then times -1 to it, then add to this R cube, then divide by C, then take square root, then you get your K. So the very first step that you do is your reverse process. Okay, because the square root was the last one to do, so now we square both sides. We make both sides square. Okay, so when this side is squared, so the square root sign is gone, so this becomes K squared. Okay, then I need to, because my K cube is added to this KR cube, then divide by C. So the last step that I did was the divide by C. So next one that I should do is I will multiply C. So CK squared equals to R cube minus P cube. Okay, now I want to make P the subject. So can I put the P to be P cube? So I have P cube will be equals to R cube minus CK square. Okay, CK square is only referring to C times K times K. There's no bracket there. Okay, so P cube is this. So you see, I want to make P the subject. This side cannot have any more P, and you can check there's no more P here. So if I want to find P, I need to remove the cube. So I need to take the cube root of this expression. So this is the answer. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, question 4 is to solve simultaneous linear equation. Okay, this equation can be solved by elimination method. Okay, how I do elimination. So you see, this 2x, 5x, if I were to handle the x, I need to times 5, I need to times 2 here, more troublesome. Okay, if I handle the 4 and the 2, so what I need to do is just multiply this with 2, then it becomes 4. So I only need to handle one equation. Okay, so only need to handle one equation. So this is an easier way. Okay, so I times 2 throughout the equation. So I have 10x minus 4y equals to 6.8. Okay, this equation comes from the second equation, so I call it equation 2a. So now I'm going to handle 2a with the 1. Why I name it as 2a is so that I will not use 2 and 2a to work, because if I use 2 and 2a to work, I'm going to get 0 equals to 0. Okay, so I'm going to use 1 and 2a to do. So now I can see that if I use equation 1 plus my equation 2a, when I add them out, I am able to eliminate the 4y minus 4y, which get me a 0. So I'm having 2x plus 10x equals to 5.2 plus 6.8. So I have 12x equals to 12. Am I right? 12. Okay, so x equals to 1. So when I get x equals to 1 already, so I'm going to substitute. Okay, substitute x equals to 1 into equation 1. So I'm going to get 2 times 1 plus 4y equals to 5.2. Okay, you may ask, why is it that I'm substituting into the first equation? Because I like equations which have all positive numbers. Okay, so I want to avoid negative numbers. So here 5.2 minus 2, that will be 3.2. So your y value will be 0.8. Okay, so y is 0.8 and x is equals to 1. Okay, so that is to solve a simultaneous linear equation. Okay, simultaneous linear equation. This method is called the elimination method. I hope you still remember. Okay, but if you cannot remember, never mind. Now is the time for you to do revision. Okay, next one, simplify. Okay, to simplify, we first have to say, is there any way that we can simplify it first before we combine the two fractions? Okay, please do not, please do not go and say, oh, common denominator is this one times this one. If you do that, you're going to get everything into very messy working. Okay, look here. A plus b, we cannot do any changes already. So can you see that this is a squared? Can I write it to be a times a? Then this negative 2b, can I write it to be 2b and b? Okay, put this to be plus, put this to be minus, so that when I multiply this together, I still get negative 2b squared, and this is a squared, and when I cross multiply them, I'm getting ab as the middle term. See, the middle term is ab. So you see, I actually purposely try to factorize them. Okay, so I factorize to be a plus 2b times a minus b. And then since here is a minus b, okay, this one is a minus b, that means I am going to take 3 out, and this is also a minus b. Okay, so can you see the denominator has a term which is common, which is a minus b. Okay, so the common denominator is just 3 times a plus 2b times a minus b. Why so? Because you have a 3 here, you have a minus b, which is a common here, and you also have a plus 2b, another factor. So the LCM will be this one times a 3. Okay, and so if you compare this one with this denominator, you actually multiply a 3. So you have to multiply a 3 to the numerator. So you have 3a plus 3b. Okay, for this one, you have these two terms there. So you actually multiply a plus 2b. So you need to multiply your 2 to the a plus 2b. So you have negative 2a minus 4b. Okay, so here 3a minus 2a is a. 3b minus 4b is negative b. And so we have 3 times, okay, the bottom denominator we just copy. And we realize that, oh, very good, this is a minus b, this is also a minus b, so I can cancel them because it's division, right? So division, so therefore my answer is just 1 over 3 times a plus 2b. So that is the answer. Okay, so that is the answer for this question. Okay, so the question asks you to leave your answer in positive indices. So actually here all positive indices. So this question got nothing much to do with the positive indices. I think what is more that we need to pay attention is this one is actually negative indices. How do we change them to positive indices? Okay, so to change negative indices to positive indices, so what we do is this one put it to be 1 upon x, and this one put it to be 1 upon y. So remember we said before, when we want to change the power to become positive, we will take the reciprocal of the number. So reciprocal of the number is 1x and 1 over y. Okay, so x plus y. So you see, now got no negative already, right? Okay, now I need to handle them. Okay, so how do I handle? So can I see that the numerator, I find the common denominator, which is x times y. So I'll have y plus x. Okay, then divide by x plus y. So can I say I'm multiplying it with, can I say multiplying it with 1 over x plus y? Okay, see these two add together is common denominator xy. So I multiply y to the 1 upon x, and then I multiply x to the 1 upon y. So I have this one. Okay, so this term and this term are actually the same. So I can divide both numerator and denominator by x plus y. Okay, so my answer is 1 over x times y. And that's my answer, because my answer does not have any more negative indices already. Okay, so it's the answer without negative indices. Question 6a and 6b look very tedious, right? Very tedious, so we have to be very careful. Okay, first of all, you have this, divide by this, then times. Okay, so if we can straight away put everything to be factors, then we can multiply or divide them, right? So this c minus 3b, we can't change anything, it's just c minus 3b, cannot simplify anymore. Okay, so we keep this as c minus 3b. Okay, we're going to handle the denominator. Remember, when you have 4 terms, okay, you're going to group 2 by 2. Okay, 2 by 2. So a squared minus ab you take a out, so you can have a minus b. Okay, as for the second one, you're going to have 2c out, and then you have a minus b. Can you see I'm halfway done already? See, these two factorize, these two factorize, and so I have a common factor of a minus b. So the next step, I'm going to take out the a minus b. Okay, as for this second fraction here, the first term, the numerator is already factorized. Please, please, please don't go and expand it. Whenever you expand, you make the whole thing all term by term already, then you cannot do any division. So don't ever expand it. Okay, so you're supposed to leave it. Okay, what you need to do is to factorize the denominator. So the denominator can be factorized to be c plus 3b and c minus 3b. Why is it that I can do this? Is because my 9b squared is actually 3b times 3b. So 3b times 3b. Okay, so now I have like the a squared minus b squared will be a plus b times a minus b. Okay, a plus b minus b. So that's how I get this one. Okay, I'm going to wait till the next step to do the cancellation. So a minus b is common, so I have a plus 2c times a plus 2c squared, c plus 3b, okay, c plus 3b, and then c minus 3b. Okay, now I'm going to do all the cancellation together. So here, c minus 3b and c minus 3b, I divide the numerator and denominator both by 3 minus 3, c minus 3b, so I'm left with 1. Okay, and this one, c plus 3b and c plus 3b are also the same, so I divide them also. So therefore, I'm left with a 1. Okay, and then here I have a plus 2c square of it, and this one is a plus 2c. So this one, numerator got 2 factors, denominator got 1 only, so I cancel one of them, so the numerator got 1 left, and then denominator cancel off. Okay, so therefore our answer will be the numerator has a plus 2c and the denominator a minus b, and that's all. Please don't say I cancel a with a. No, these two cannot cancel because there is still addition and subtraction sign there. Unless you're having multiplication, then you say you can further cancel. Otherwise, you can't. Okay, so take note of that. Next, question 6b. Wow, rather tedious, right? So you need to factorize. Otherwise, you won't be able to simplify. Okay, so to factorize, let's have 2p, p, and then can we have 3, 3? Can we have 3, 3? So that we have 6 and 3. So we have minus, minus. Yes, correct. So this is 2p minus 3 and p minus 3 for the numerator. You can see when you expand out 2p times p, 2p squared. 2p times negative 3 is negative 6, and then negative 6, negative 3, so that will be negative 9. Then this 2 multiply is your 9. Right? The next one, 2p, p, and then 12, I'm going to put what? 4 and 3, 3, 6, okay, 3, 4, 4 and 3, yeah, 4 and 3 here. So I am having a plus here and a minus here, so that the product is negative 12. Okay, so this one times this is negative 3p, this one is 8p, so 8p minus 3p is 5p. So I'm having 2p minus 3 and p plus 4. Okay, next is divide. Divide means multiply is reciprocal. So the reciprocal, this one should go to the numerator. And this one we can further factorize it to be p squared minus 4 squared, which is p plus 4 times p minus 4. Okay, and this one is p minus 3 times p minus 3, so square of p minus 3. Okay, now every term is factorized already. We now need to see how we simplify. Okay, so how we simplify, here there's a p minus 3, but there are 2p minus 3 here, so we cancel one of them. So this one is gone. And then there's a p plus 4. Divide both numerator, denominator by p plus 4. So you are left with 1. And this one the same. So numerator, denominator both divide. And then you are having a 1. Okay, and so your final answer will be just p minus 4 over p minus 3. Okay, p minus 4 over p minus 3. Okay, question 7. You are to factorize this and then use the result to do this one. Okay, this usual one is 2y squared. So 2y squared, we put it to be 2y and y. This is 3 and 1. I put a minus and a plus here. Okay? Yeah. So if this part you're still not familiar, please go and revise it. Okay, can you see 2y times y, 2y squared. This times this, negative 3. This one times this is negative 6 plus 1, so negative 5. Okay, so this is factorized to be 2y plus 1 multiplied with y minus 3. So now, the question says, after this, go and do this one. So you see the pattern, 2, 2, y squared, and this something squared. And minus 5, minus 5. The y also 2x minus 1. Okay, and then minus 3 is the same. So that means when I replace my y by 2x minus 1, then I'm done. Okay, but only thing is that this one is an equation. So I'm going to solve this equation. Just now that one is, I'm factorizing it. Okay, so I'm factorizing it. So I'm not solving any equation here. So I'm solving the equation here, but not here. Okay, this one just factorize and done. Don't tell me the answer is y equals to 3 or y equals to negative half. Okay, next, so I'm going to use this result in the previous part and solve this one. So I'm going to say 2 times 2x minus 1 plus 1 multiply with 2x minus 1 and then minus 3. Can you see my matching here? See, 2y plus 1. So isn't it 2y plus 1? Y minus 3, y minus 3. Okay, so simplify, I get 4x minus 2 plus 1, so it's minus 1. Okay, and then this one is 2x minus 1 minus 3, so it's minus 4 equals to 0. So use now factor law again. Remember, this side is a 0. When I have two factors multiplied together is a 0. So one of them must be 0, either one of them. Okay, so we say 4x minus 1 is a 0, or 2x minus 4 is a 0. So x is either a quarter or x equals to 2. So these two are our answers. Okay, these two are our answers. Can you see? Is it clear in the screen? Okay. Next one. Okay, the method still the same. You have whole number, fraction, whole number. So we usually will remove the fraction. How do we remove the fraction? We want to multiply the denominator. So in order to multiply denominator means the left hand side I times 4, the right hand side I times 4. So when I have left hand side times 4, this is distributive law. So the 4 will be distributed to 4 times 5 minus 7 minus 3x equals to 4 times 8x. See the distributive law, I times the 4 into this, Okay, then the other side times the 4 into the 8x. Okay, so this is 20 minus 7 plus 3x equals to 32x. So 32 minus 3, that will be 29x equals to, this is 13. So x will be, I remove the 29 by dividing. So 13 over 29. So that is question 8A. Okay, I'm finishing. Okay, finishing. Give me another 5 more minutes. Okay, 5 more minutes. Okay, next one. Okay, next one. Fraction. Okay, so look for the common denominator. So you have 15, you have x, you have 2x minus 1. So the common denominator will be this. So when this common denominator multiplied to this fraction here, I'm getting a 15x times 2. Okay, 15x times 2 because originally is 2x minus 1. For this one, I'm having a 15 of 2x minus 1. And then for this one, I'm having a x and 2x minus 1. So I have 2x squared minus x, and this is 30x minus 30x plus 15. Oh, very good. One 30x, the other is minus 13x, so cancel. Okay, and so I'm having 2x squared minus x minus 15. Okay, why? I subtract both sides by 15, so the 15 is gone to the other side. Remember, we always must put one side to be 0, so that we are going to use the null factor law. Okay, factorize this. I have 2x and x. I'm going to get a 5 and a 3. Yeah, if I get 5 and a 3, I put a negative here, a positive here. So I'm getting negative 6x plus 5x is negative x. So here I have 2x plus 5 times x minus 3 is 0. So either this is 0 or this is 0. Okay, I'm quite cramped here, so I will just get my answer straight away lah, huh? Okay, so x is equals to 3. Okay, next one. Okay, second last one. Okay, again, whenever you see fraction here, fraction here, fraction here, please don't just take this times this times this. If you do that, you're going to get whole thing very messy. You're going to get cubic equation, very messy. Okay, so what you do is, for example, if I keep the first one, can I see that this is 2 minus x? This is x minus 2. So if I were to use the negative sign, multiply in, so isn't it I'm getting 2 minus x here? 2 minus x. See that? Yeah. Then this 4 minus 2x, I can take a 2 out so that I get 2 minus x. Can you see now the denominator? See? 2 minus x, 2 minus x, 2 minus x. So what is the common denominator? It will be 2 times 2 minus x. So if I times 2 and 2 minus x to whole equation, the left side I multiply, the right side I multiply. For the left side, I do distributive law, multiply into every one of them. So I'm going to get 2 times 3. And then the second one, I'm going to get 5 only because there's no 2 multiply. Okay, the third one, I'm going to times 2. Okay, and then the next one, originally there's a 4 there, so I'm going to times 2 and times 2 minus x. So you see, it becomes a linear equation. Otherwise, you're going to get cubic. Okay, so this is 6 plus 7, so it's 13. Okay, and this is 8 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16 minus 8x. So I'm getting 8x equals to 3. So x will be 3 over 8. Okay, x equals to 3 over 8. Okay, last question. Okay, it's a graph question. You are given that this is y equals to x squared. You are asked to sketch, okay, 2 graphs. One of them is y equals to x squared plus 2. And then the other one is y equals to negative x squared. Okay, y equals to negative x squared. Remember, when we have the coefficient here is negative and here is positive, the positive one go upward, so the negative one must come downwards. And then the curvature is the same because why? There is 1 here, so they should have the same curvature. So that means you're supposed to do a reflection, so you're supposed to have this one, supposed to be same curvature. So y equals to negative x squared. Okay, then the next one, y equals to x squared plus 2. Plus 2 means what? The whole graph move up. Remember, this is the c. C will determine the movement in the vertical direction. So for example, you have a certain value y equals x squared, then every value is just plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, means every point you plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So which means it's just like this curve, you're going to move up. Okay, you move up 2 units, so the curvature should be the same. Okay, so this is y is x squared plus 2. This one is y equals x squared, this is y equals negative x squared. Okay, so the whole